So it's Monday the 12th of September and we have got the keys for the new unit and the new Makerspace. Obviously you can see there, it's the old sign, Whitlow Engineering. We're going to be putting a new Makerspace sign up there. But this video is going to be documenting, showing you the journey of transforming this unit from an empty unit with a mezzanine, but not much in it, to a fantastic Makerspace fully kitted out. So keep watching and see the transformation. So work has already begun. This is the second day of having the key. And we've already started partitioning up the space. All this timber here came from a local farm. They had a huge amount of mixed timber. Got a real good deal on all of that. And we picked that up, started with it this morning. And we've already been able to frame up some of the partition walls. And we've got a huge batch of brand new timber from Howarth's. 4.8 metre lengths, 100 of, and 2.4 metre lengths. So we've got enough to do all the stud work for what will be the kitchen social area, and then the classroom area at the back. So last night I was here and I fully degreased this section and spent about an hour and a half scrubbing it and cleaning it, and it looks a lot better now. So the next job is to paint it with some floor paint, and then this area will be our storage area for all the materials, and then we can grind back and resin coat the entire floor, which is going to look amazing and be a really hard wearing grey surface. So let's get to painting. So this is the first week wrap up. We've accomplished a fair bit in the first week. It's already looking amazing in here. The floor looks like liquid or like a mirror. It's so glossy. But what we did this week was we kind of started putting up some initial framing to kind of partition the area. We've got the two walls there, and we've got all of the galvanized sheeting on the floor here that we're going to be using for some of the partitions. I painted this area. I degreased this 60 square meter patch and then painted it all in like floor paint, so that we could put all the materials that we've already amassed here. So we've got tons, we've got literally 200 lengths of CLS timber from Howarth's, and we've got a huge big pile of wood as well from Facebook, loads of other materials. That little desk over there was free from Susan's Cove. That was on Facebook. We've had loads of bits and bobs like that I've been collecting, but we had to get it all moved into that bay so then we could get the resin floor. We had the professionals coming in on Thursday and they fully ground back the floor and painted it with 2 coats of epoxy resin, so it's really, really good. Like, literally looks like water. We've also got the gas heater over there, which is huge. We were quite lucky with that. That's a really expensive bit of kit, but we managed to get that off the person that had this unit before. They took that out. It takes 2 huge gas bottles, but that should keep the whole space nice and toasty. So we've just had our second week down here, and we've added a wall. So this is the kind of open plan office that was already in existence in the space, and it was long and thin and a bit awkward. So we've added a wall in the middle of it, and that is going to create us a nice little reception area. It'll have a little bit of a seat here underneath that world map, and a little bit of a reception desk here, and that will hopefully give us a nice little entryway when you enter the building. And it's also given us a bit more of an easier to work with Fab Lab. So we've got a bit more wall space here. We've got a nice corner that we can kind of put a desk around that corner, and we can fill this with equipment. So up here is looking great. And we've also had a lot more equipment and machinery and furniture arrive. So you can see we've got a huge amount of lockers that have come in. These have come out of a city office. These look really, really good. These are coded lockers. So we're gonna have like personal storage lockers available for members. Different sizes. We've got these smaller ones, and then we've got these bigger cupboards as well. These are for larger projects. These are twice the size. So we're gonna have all of these set up really nicely. And we've also got all of these really solid drawers come in. These have all come out of a laboratory or a lab, and they're really solid and heavy. But these are gonna be all built into the craft room, because with crafts comes lots and lots of stuff. Loads of stuff. So we're gonna have loads of different craft stuff in there, rubber stamps, the whole 9 yards. And then this has arrived too. This is a block of charging lockers. So each one of these, I don't know if you can see that, we've got a socket in the back. So when you come down to the Makerspace, you can charge your phone, charge your laptop, charge your iPad, you chuck it in one of them, put it on charge, take the key, and you know it's safe. You can leave it there charging. So that's that. We've got loads more materials and machines. We've got a radial arm saw and a mortiser. We've got our wet area. So this is like an open plan area here with a big stainless steel sink. It's going to have the kiln. It's going to have the parts washer. It's going to have the shot blaster, and all of that will be in this nice little like nook over here. and that'll be for pottery, for painting, anything in the wet craft area will need access to the sink. We've got the furniture collection, all nice and blue and on brand. I've been collecting all this up from a variety of places, but this is all the furniture that'll be going in the social area and kitchen. And speaking of kitchen, that is the footprint of the kitchen. So we've got a nice kitchen island that comes out with a sink in it. So that's going to be coming out with breakfast bars down one side. We're going to have a fully fitted kitchen with a hob, an oven, microwave, and the kitchen is of really good quality, massive kitchen that came out of a house in Northwich, and here it is, most of it. So that came out on Monday and will be getting fitted this week. So we're going to have a really nice social area, kitchen, which is going to be a huge benefit to the space, and it's going to be hopefully the heart of the Makerspace. And over here we've got loads of other things that we've picked up. Big bench power supply for the electrical bay. We've got equipment and benches, and it is all piling in now. So sadly, we can't build too much over this area because we've got a big mezzanine going in second week of October. And until that goes in, we can't build the wood shop and the metal shop, but things are coming along quickly. Keep watching. Update number 3 at the Northwich Makerspace, and we've made even more progress, starting with these benches, which came out of a school in Wigan, and I absolutely love them. I think they're a really good throwback to the DT days. I think anyone who's been to a high school in the UK will recognise these benches, and I love the fact they're nice and worn. So if I bought brand new ones, they'd be quadruple the cost, and I'd probably be a bit sad to use them, whereas these can get straight to work with them. We've also picked up some more equipment. We're trying to source everything second hand at the moment because we get so much more bang for our buck. That being said, we are trying to buy record power woodworking tools. I don't really want to have a woodworking shop that's like a hodgepodge of all different equipment. I kind of want to have things that match and make the space look good. So we've got this belt sander. This is record power. It's got like a disc belt sander on the front and then a belt sander. We've got this scroll saw. This is a 16-inch scroll saw. And then we've got this mortiser. If you want to cut a square hole, you use a mortiser. What would you want to make a square hole for? Well, if you're doing like a mortise and tenon joint, which is like a notch going into a hole on a bench or on a table, you'd use a mortiser. This would typically be about £300–400, but this one came off eBay for £90. So you can see we get a lot more value when we buy second-hand equipment. Good second-hand equipment that's pat tested and it works and it's good quality, but it's cheaper. We've got bench power supply. This was another little bargain pickup. So these are a few £100 for a bench power supply. But we picked this up from somebody who really liked the Northwich Makerspace. So they give me a great little deal on this. And they also chucked in a load of electronics components. So this is like a great example of how the space is going to run really. We're going to have an electronics area and we're going to have loads of community resources, free resources. And this is just an example of it. Loads of resistors, capacitors, and we've got some diodes in there, loads of different things, and they'll all be in a free resource area in the electronics area. This is an auto darkening welding helmet, and I just think this gives you a little bit of an inside scoop on what's coming. So we're gonna have a full metalworking area with proper welding equipment, auto darkening helmet. We're gonna have a MIG welder, we're gonna have an arc welder. So if you wanna learn welding, or maybe you do know how to weld, we're looking for a few people to come, possibly residents down at the space, resident makers that are based here. So let me know in the comments if you're into your metalworking. Another great addition that we've been able to add this week is this record bandsaw. I absolutely love this. Obviously you can see we've gone for record power equipment, and everything isn't gonna be record power, but where we can, we're trying to make things match. Reason why is Record Power offer 5-year warranties on all the gear, so you know it's good quality stuff, it's going to last, and it's safe to use. This bandsaw here is a perfect example. You listen to how smooth, how silky smooth this is. You can hardly even hear it, and it's got a nice throat size on it, and you can see it just cuts like butter. Another great addition to the working space, that's going to be going in the wood shop. It's just here for time being. That's one of the new additions this week. We have started work as well. So last week we added the wall and we divided up the office upstairs. This week we've started putting in the framework for the social space and lounge. So underneath this existing mezzanine here, there's just a big empty void. There's just nothing there. So this is where we're going to be framing this up, walling it. We're going to be putting windows in. Now this is another little good bargain. All of the money that we've put into at the start of this project is going to go to good use. So these toughened glass windows here, we've got 7, all the same size, and they're going to be going along this wall here. We're going to have 2 and then 2. So there'll be a nice open room, and all of those came out of a conservatory in Chorley. I picked all this glass up when I was collecting the bandsaw, and all that glass was 30 quid. So we're getting some right bargains down here. The stud framing's gone in, and this is going to be lovely because we've taken a kitchen out of a house in Northwich, and we've built this framework to fit exactly how the kitchen came out. So here, there's going to be a countertop with a kitchen hob in the middle and an extractor in the center of that nook. And then there's going to be an island that comes out about 2.5 meters here with some breakfast bars, which should make for a really nice open plan kitchen. A few more additions to the space. We've had a really great donation this week. This miter saw, this is a compound miter saw by DeWalt, and this was donated by Atkinsons of Cheshire. So the builders that are working in the space love the idea, and they've brought this down to use to build. So if you've got any equipment that you think might be suitable for us, let me know. Because we might be able to make use of it down here. We've also picked up a ruck of tools today. These are all Ferex tools. We are going to have a load of Makita power tools available, a full range of Makita power tools. But where we're going to be running little workshops, running little beginner woodworking shops where we're making bird boxes and stuff like that, you can't just have 2-3 drills, you need a lot more. So that's why we've bought all of these Ferex tools. These are a bit cheaper, but they're really good. I'm really pleased with them, and we've got loads of batteries and loads of chargers. So we've picked up 4 of these multi-sanders, and we've got 4 impact drivers and 4 combi drills. Now this is going to make a great little piece as well, because we're going to be putting all of these in shadow foam and organising these as like power tool kits that you need for basic woodworking. We've also picked up 7 glue guns, which are going to be in the craft area, and then we bought 6 of these heavy duty nail guns, which are for the craft area. And we've got loads of glue sticks. We've also got a load of Dremels. These again, in a Makerspace, a Dremel is a really versatile tool. So we're going to be putting all of these in shadow foam and organising them in the toolboxes. So we've got it's a communal space. We can't just have one. So we've got 5 Dremels, which we'll be having all nicely organised. And like I say, yeah, we've got all the drills, picked up a few more stamps too. We've got a load of craft supplies already. And you might see behind me all of this insulation. We got, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 sheets of this 100mm insulation. Now these went up on Facebook Marketplace for 100 quid. I went to pick them up from Manchester, and the chap there, Vakar, said he saw the Northwich Makerspace on my profile, and he said we could have them all for free. So big thank you to Vakar. We'll be using this to kind of insulate some of the classrooms and the lounge area to make sure it's a comfortable space. So I was really happy to get all of that. We've had loads of other bits and bobs that we've been collecting in, bringing into the space ready to use. So we've got a big double bag extractor, which we've also picked up from Facebook. I've got to build that now, so we'll put all that together. We've also got another smaller extractor, we've got a table router as well, and we've got this radial arm saw, which I'm not sure we're going to be keeping. This was actually chucked in when we bought this big vertical panel saw over here. This came from Leeds, and it's a fortune on its own. I don't even want to tell you how expensive it is if you buy it brand new, but we got this a really good deal from a joinery company that makes dental cabinets that were kind of like breaking down their operation. We got that really good deal, and they chucked in this radial arm saw and the router as well for the Northwich Makerspace. So this is really amazing for cutting down large sheets of timber really accurately and safely and cleanly. So that's an amazing bit of kit. And last but not least, we picked up this reception desk today. This is going to be a great little addition. I think we've shown you the reception area upstairs where we've partitioned the space with that wall. Well, this desk is going to be sat proudly in front of that. We're going to put a really cool blue Makerspace logo on the front there. I think it's going to look really good. And now this, again, it was another Facebook bargain. It was a supporter of the Northwich Makerspace, someone who's seen it and they really liked the idea. It was a hair and beauty salon in Goose Tree called A Stroke of Magic. They were selling this. They did it really, really cheap for us because it was for the Northwich Makerspace. So a big thank you to them. And yeah, hopefully this looks really great up in the new reception. This week we have cleared out, or we've just finished clearing out this huge bay here. This is going to be now racked out with pallet racking, and then we're going to fence off the front and have this as a separate storage area. We've also just finished putting up this wall. These are galvanized roofing sheets, and they make a great looking wall, really nice, and hopefully with the lights above it should bounce a lot of light back into the space. So I'm quite happy with that, and it's really solid, which is what we wanted. So that's great. So next job is bring all of the pallet racking. So we've just had all the pallet racking delivered, and it didn't go as well as it could have done. It was a near disaster, but it's all good now. So the next thing to do now is bring all that pallet racking in here and set it all up. We're gonna have racking all down that side, down the back, and then up that side. And then we have to build this wall as well. This is gonna be the galv sheeting across there as well. So next thing, bring all the racking in. So now we've done the racking, we're going to be finishing off this reception area and this main office area. We've got John from Atkinson's of Cheshire here this week. He is transforming this smaller kitchen station. This is like a little brew station we've got up here. We're going to be plastering this wall here as well. You can see this raw plasterboard. We're going to be plastering that out, and then we're going to be moving the reception desk up here and getting that room sorted. We've also carpet washed all of the carpets over the weekend. They've come up pretty good. We've got a load of the stains out. So now we've got to sell all of this furniture, which was left here for us. So hopefully we can raise some extra funds with all this furniture. So hopefully we can use the space a bit more efficiently. So next job is going to be plastering that wall and getting this kitchen sorted. Right, so we left John to it and he's done an amazing job. We've upgraded that dodgy looking kitchen, which had kind of a bit of a ropey counter, a minging looking sink and a bit of a curtain hanging down. Now we've got two fitted cupboards. We've got a little cutlery drawer hidden in here, all looking nice. And then these cupboards were part of the full kitchen we took out of Northwich. So these were recycled cupboards that have been put in, as were these two base cabinets. The only thing I had to buy new was the two doors. We've also picked up a fridge, which is going to be perfect for this because it's going to be basically a brew station. And the last thing to do now is decorate it a bit. You can see there's some coffee splashes, so we need to just tidy up the walls, prep them for paint, and then we're going to tile across the back. And we've got these amazing tiles. I love these. These are from Tops Tiles, and there's a whole like collection of different random patterns, which are going to make a really nice little feature wall splashback there, which I think will look really nice down this corridor. So yeah, time to get started on that. So yesterday afternoon we finished the tiling on the backsplash and I'm really happy with it. It's a Makerspace blue and it's got some really nice little detailed tiles. And we had just enough. I was in Tops Tiles, they had 13 of the patterned ones, which worked out as 2 patterned tiles per row and then 1 at the top. So very lucky, didn't have to order them in. I was able to just collect them yesterday. And yeah, they've all gone in. So now it's just a case of pulling out all the spacers and mixing up some grout, and then we'll get the final look of it all. This week, we are finally putting in our first big mezzanine, which is going here around this area. So we've got to clear all this stuff out of the way, and then we'll be ready for the mezzanine. Our first mezzanine company cancelled on us, and we then had to rush. We found someone else who's going to come in and do it, so that's amazing. We've made some other big progress last week. I was really happy with how the reception came together and the little kitchen brew station that we put together, so I'm really pleased with that. But I'm actually more excited to get some of the workshops in place, and we've not been able to do that until this mezzanine's here because we'll be building the stud walls up to it. So really pleased about that. That's going to be huge. Before the mezz guys arrive, we've got to clear this area and we've got to get cracking. Right, so the guys from Racking Experts, they're a company up from Blackburn, they've absolutely smashed it today. They'd planned on doing this first big L-shaped mezzanine this weekend, and then they were going to be coming back the last weekend of October to do the other one. But actually, because I'd cleared this area, and I think because they work like the clappers, they finished this whole thing today. And they've told me that if I can get the other area clear, they're going to come back tomorrow, Sunday, and get it all finished. So that means we're going to be well ahead of schedule, which is fantastic. So it's going to be a long night for me, but I've got to get that area cleared out, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll have both mezzanines done. Right, so it was a bit of a grueler, but we got it all done, and it's Monday now. I'm here and it's looking amazing. Sadly, we can't access the new mezzanine, but that's the next job. We're gonna have to knock a door through here, put a smaller window in, and then we're gonna have this mezzanine area accessible by a bridge, which I think is amazing. Who wouldn't want a bridge in a unit? I think it's gonna be such a cool feature. And let's have a look at it from downstairs. So that is the bridge. I think that's my favourite part of the unit so far. I'm absolutely buzzing with that. That's absolutely fab. And it's given us it's doubled the amount of space down here. So over in this area, we're going to be able to have our small craft store. We're going to have our small light craft workshop, and then our big, like, wet, messy classroom, essentially, what will be our like working area for things like pottery and any other sort of crafts that are a bit of a mess. And then up on this mezzanine will be our business incubator bays. So if you're thinking about running a business or setting up a little craft business, something you've wanted to do, or maybe you are doing that and you're doing it at home, well, a business incubator membership gives you a large workspace of your very own with a door. It's locked, it's just for you with lights and power. It also gives you a desk in the shared office, gives you access to the conference room, and it gives you access to the full Makerspace. So it's fantastic. If you're making things and selling them at craft fairs, you can come and run it from here, and you can benefit from all the resources and the community here and the support that you're going to have, but you can have your very own workshop here dedicated. So for more details, send us a message, drop us a comment. I can give you the full details. You can come down here and have a look, and I can talk you through it. But what is the next job? Let's get that door sorted. Right, so the mezzanine's in, and the joiners, Rob and John, have taken the window out, and we've ordered a door for here. So this has been put on pause because until the door arrives, we're just going to leave it so it's safe. And then we're also going to put another window here as well. So we need to find a window that's going to fit that gap perfectly. So if a business incubator could work for you, or maybe someone you know, drop us a comment below, or you can even pop down here and come and have a look. We've got 2 left, and I really hope to find some cool arts, crafts businesses that could really benefit from the space. So the crowdfunder is now complete as well. That's a huge, huge goal. We got to our £15,000, and now all the steelwork's in, we can really start building out the space, adding the equipment, adding the machines, and hopefully we'll start seeing some quicker progress, starting with the kitchen. So it's another week down here at the Northwich Makerspace, and we're making more progress. John and Rob from Atkinson's of Cheshire have been in, and they've started plasterboarding this wall here, and then they've started fitting the kitchen, which I'd kind of forgotten what it looked like because we picked it up about 3-4 weeks ago, and it's been sat over in storage next to the galv wall, which we did last week. And now it's all coming into shape. This big hole here is going to be a sink. We've got to pick up a freestanding dishwasher to go in this gap here. And yeah, it should look really nice. So we've got a few other things to do this week, but the main thing is getting this kitchen social space framed out and ready, because this is really going to be the heart of the Makerspace. So we want this done as soon as possible. So let's get on to it. So I'm back from filming. I've had a couple of days off, but the first thing I see is the door is in. So that's great. Now we've got access to the best bit, which is the bridge. And we've got the footprints in too for the business incubator workshop. So make sure you send me a message if you're interested in one of those. One of them has already been taken. We've got loads of progress downstairs too, but I'll show you that in a minute. But up here, we've started clearing out all the furniture. We've cleared out all of the area, so we know what's going in here now. And we're gonna do another carpet wash in here. Hopefully get that looking a lot better. So that's everything for up here. Let's go and have a look downstairs. So we have a new room. That room did not exist when I left to go filming last week. So that is going to be server room, admin room, small office. And that is at the back of the new kitchen area, which has also got a door on it. So things feel a lot more real when there's doors. And these are some solid, cool doors. In here, all of the joinery work is finished in the kitchen, which is great. We've got some wiring that he's doing in here, and we've got some appliances that need putting in, but you can really get a feel for the scale of the canteen workshop space. We've got all bookshelves that are going to be going down this wall here. So we have already amassed lots of craft books, arts and craft books, but if you've got any and you're not using them and you want them to come down here, you want to donate them to Northwich Makerspace, let me know in the comments. We're going to try and fill up that bookcase there. And down this end, you can see that we've kind of had to push all of our furniture into the middle, but now all of the framing's done and the plastering's done. All we've got left to do is run the cabling in this wall, then we can plasterboard that, we can get it all kind of skimmed and painted and get the ceiling in, and hopefully this room will be finished in the next week or two. So I'm really looking forward to that. Right, so that is it for this update video, and we've made loads more progress. Sorry for the delay on this video. I was away for a couple of weeks, but the builders are here making loads of progress. And as you can see, the business incubator spaces are now all ready. This one has already been taken, but we've got 2 more. And if you're looking to start up your own business in crafts, arts, or making things, let me know in the comments below and you can get some details on these 2 spaces we've got left. So we've also redecorated the office and reception, so they're all looking really nice now, and the upstairs bathroom as well for the offices. That's looking fantastic. So we've got loads of updates that have happened because the cameraman Matt has been away for 2 weeks and we've moved along quite a lot, starting with the office. So it's all been redecorated and the new desks arrived last week, and these are solid oak desks. They've got a really nice Makerspace vibe to them. I love them. We've got some really cool dividers as well, and we've picked up some of these Makerspace blue ergonomic chairs. Each desk has got a black pedestal, it's got a coded lock, and we've got 12 of these setups, and they're all available on like premium memberships. So you can work in the space building things, but then you can come and kind of sit on a laptop or a computer, whatever you want. You can bring your own computer down here, set it up, and it'll be your permanent desk with a locked pedestal, and it's got high-speed broadband down here, so it's a comfortable place to work. We've got these 4. And we've got 8 in here. We've got 3 of these have already been taken, which is gonna be a lovely vibe. We've got some final touching to do. It looks a little bit too corporate for me right now, although I do love the solid wood desks. We've got to do some wall cladding, we've got some plant life to add in here, and we're gonna hopefully get a really nice vibe going. But we've got 12 of these desks. If you're interested, send me a message. And that is mostly the updates for up here. We've added the fire system, so now all of the fire system, we've added more smoke alarms, heat alarms, some break glasses, and we've been working on the CCTV cameras, so you know you're secure and it's a secure space, and also the access system, but all that's pretty boring, but it's really essential, and it's kind of what's taken a lot of the time, getting all of that in place. A big thing as well, we've added the hot water. Pretty boring, but we've got 4 sinks in the unit and they've all got to have hot water, and it took a long time to get all of that properly set up because there's no gas down here. So all that's been done. That's the boring stuff. Let me show you some of the big changes downstairs. So down here has absolutely transformed. We've built this wall. This is like a big partition. We've got a nice big set of shelves and we've built that into the wall, and now it's going to function as like a goods in, goods out rack. So you can kind of put your creations there, or anything that's been shipped to you, you can put it in there. We can also have all of our waste managed right by the shutter door. We've also, you can see there's loads of our, like, I've been collecting things off eBay and Facebook. We've got some huge bits of kit that have arrived. This is an amazing sewing machine, a Jack A4. So it's like an industrial, it can sew denim, some heavy duty materials. That came from Highton. So there's a sewing shop over there, So Easy I think it was called. That came from Highton. We've got some metal stuff, that's a metal notcher, corner notcher. We've also got some screen printing gear, also workbenches. It's all coming in. The panel saw's gone up. So this is our big kind of wall saw right by the main shutter. So that if you're bringing in large sheets, 8 foot by 4 foot, you can cut them down to size before taking them down to the workshop. It's all mounted on the wall and powered up. We're just waiting for an extraction kit so that whenever you turn it on, it immediately starts extracting the dust so we don't get overwhelmed by dust. That's really good. Over here is probably my personal favourite addition to the space. This vending machine came from Blackburn. It was a bargain, but it was spares and repair, so I had to repair it. Unfortunately, I think what had happened is it'd been left out in the cold over that really cold snap we had when it was like -10. All the cans had frozen and exploded, and basically all this section of the machine stopped working. So we had to strip it down, get all of that repaired, and it's working spot on now. It's amazing. Hopefully we're going to add contactless to it. But you can see in here, we've got all your favourite snacks. We've got super noodles, we've got some sweets, chocolate, crisps, drinks, all those different cans, all working. And it's all at really good prices, because I was looking at outsourcing this and getting a vending machine in here for free. But the problem is they wanted to charge £1.20 for a can of pop or £1 odd for a bag of crisps, which we didn't really want to do. As a community space, we want it to be, when you're down here, we want it to be quite affordable. Make yourself a tea and coffee for free, and then the snacks are pretty cheap. So we've got 50, 60p on everything pretty much. So yeah, hopefully when you're down here, you're comfortable, you can get some snacks, make a brew. This is the messy area. We've got 2 big stainless steel sinks and a nice stainless steel corner. We're also going to have a parts washer in here, which we've ordered, it's not arrived yet. And this is the only section where there is water and a drain. So this is the messy corner. We've got the hot water heater. This is a new addition. This arrived yesterday. I collected this, and it's Makerspace blue. I think it's going to go in the canteen, but I'm not quite sure yet. We're going to figure that out. But it was a real bargain off Facebook, and I just thought that's pretty cool. Captain speaking. There's also little changes. We finished off the cladding. All of this frontage looks really nice now. We've got, like I say, the fire siren, emergency lighting. That's all the boring stuff, but pretty essential. If the lights go out, if the power goes off, it's all nicely lit in here still. Like I say, we've got the cameras too. This big wall here's gone in. This partitions off what is the large pallet storage area. So that big gate there opens, giving us access to pallet storage. Down here, this is one of the biggest changes. We've got my father-in-law Graham and brother-in-law Dennis are here helping us. We're decorating in here today. This is the big kitchen and social space. So all the kitchen's been finished off for a few weeks, but now all of the plastering's been done. It's ready for some paint, which is what we're going to be doing today. These are the final touches. And that's looking great. We've got all the bookcases in, and we've got we've probably got 1 shelf's worth of arts and crafts books. If you've got some craft supplies or some craft books that you don't really need anymore, you want to donate them or sell them to me as a big bundle for cheap, which is what I've been doing up till this point, buying bundles off eBay. We do want to fill up this bookshelf with relevant books, so feel free to send them down here. They'll be going to a good cause and we'll be getting some good use out of them. So any craft supplies, sewing materials, anything for the craft room or books, we really appreciate it. So let me know in the comments, send them down or just pop down with them. And that's it. So there's some big updates to happen in there. I can't wait to show you the finished off kitchen. And then down here, this is what we're spending the next week working on. We've got loads of really big machines arriving this week, and we've held off back bringing them in because they're going to take up lots of room. And all of the stuff that's here is going to move into the kitchen. It's going to move up there. We're going to have a nice big clear space for the woodworking shop, metalworking shop, and the light crafts hobby stuff. And hopefully that's all going to start taking shape this week, with the craft buildings going upstairs this week too. But that being said, let me show you some of the other updates. I'm really pleased with how this space has come together. We've got this really cool wall here. It adds a bit of a Makerspace vibe. I did this the other night. I'm really happy with it. It kind of looks a bit trippy. It looks like proper cladding, but it's actually like a premium wallpaper that we got. And then this is like a proper foliage panel wall, all held on with some nice trim. And then we've got the CCTV display up here, and we can see all the cameras, because there's no secret that there's cameras down here. We want everyone to be able to see them and be able to see that everyone's safe, working well. You can see outside anyone who's coming and going. So we've got a screen there. We'll also have screens in the office. The furniture's all come together. All of these bits of furniture came from different places. This set of canteen, this little 4 desks and chairs, this actually was already here. This is one of the only bits of furniture in the unit, and it matches perfectly. We got this from Northwich. This is a big designer chair. I love it. It's massive, it's properly solid, it's really heavy, and it's royal blue, and it matches perfectly. It's a really good little chill out zone here. Come and have a brew, work on your laptop, getting all your ideas together. The rest of the kitchen's looking really smart. We've added a bit of wallpaper over here too, which helps kind of hopefully tie the two ends of the kitchen canteen area together. We've got the hob in, we've put the backsplash on, we've decorated it all. Like I say, that was Graham and Dennis, my brother-in-law and my father-in-law were down here helping me. We decorated it all. It's looking fab. And this really is come together quite fast. I'm really pleased. So let's have a look outside, show you some updates out there. We've also got a few more machines that have arrived. This is a really big highlight for me. This is a really solid Meddings pillar drill. This is a fortune to buy new. We've managed to pick one up as a really good deal. It came out of a school and it's just like brand new. Perfect, and it's Makerspace blue, but it's really solid, great pillar drill. Same with this. This is a floor standing band facer. So it's a sanding machine, 6-inch band sander, and it's just makes light work of sanding and polishing. It's a really expensive machine new, but again, this came out of a school. Thank you to Graham, who drove all the way down to Kent to pick that up. That was a long drive. But yeah, that's a great little pickup. We've got some metalworking stuff as well. I've got a van full of stuff, but we'll save that for the next episode because we've got a lot of printing stuff in there. But yeah, machinery's coming in. We've got more machines to collect, and hopefully we'll start bolting them in place in the workshop in the next episode. But we've made a lot of progress with the craft area too, so let's go and have a look at that. So this is the craft room, and it's massive. It looks far bigger now it's built than it did on paper. Probably the biggest room in the space, and it's gonna have some big tables in here. It's gonna have the sewing machine here, an overlocker, loads of drawers and storage for craft supplies, and it's coming together. Rob and John have been hard at work up here, Atkinson to Cheshire, building all this. There's still a bit to go. We've got to build along the front as well, building the 3D printer room and the Fab Lab room, laser room. But it's looking like we're on the last bit of building work. This is the last big project. So we wanted to get all of the messy, dusty work done before we open it to members to come down, and we're very, very close to that happening. So update number 9, and we've got loads more progress down here. We're starting in this craft room. You can see it's all starting to be painted. We ran out of paint over the weekend, but we're going to finish this off. But it's all plastered, all sanded, the windows in. It's looking really good. We've also got the print room all finished, and the doors have started to go on. So the craft room is nearly done. The next time you see that, it'll be carpeted, it'll have a ceiling in it, and it'll have a craft bench in it and sewing machines in it. So that's fantastic. We've also got this room here that didn't exist in the last update. This is the 3D print lab. So in the space of a week, we built it, clad it, plasterboarded it, plastered it and wired it, and it's all done now. It's even painted in there. The only thing that we're waiting for now is suspended ceilings, which are going in today. So we're gonna have suspended ceilings and lights, and then we'll be able to see them properly. So a huge update up here. I'm sure you can see massive changes. We've got the laser coming in today, and the laser is going to be going in the alcove over there. So some great progress been made upstairs, up here, but we've also made a load of progress downstairs. Let's go and have a look. Right, so down here, we've also made a load of progress because we finally got the finished layout sorted and planned. We know what we're building. We've started building it, but we've just got to finish it all off. And we've also got most of the tools and equipment now. I did have a van load of stuff ready to show you. I'll show you that in a second. Not before I show you the craft supply store though, which is nearly finished. All we've got to do is paint it now. But in here, it's a lovely sized room. We've got loads of wall space to put some handrails, some of these kind of they're called slat board, that's the plan. So we can have loads of stuff in here for sale, which this is gonna be like a mini merchant, you call it. So it's like run on a policy. You can come in here, get what you need, and you'd have it on a tab. Now we've got a pretty good idea what's going in here. I've picked up a huge amount of ribbons. So we're gonna have some ribbons and some craft rolls, and we're gonna have some PPE and some other consumables. but we're open to suggestions on this from our members. So if there's something, when you start working in the space and you're realizing, you know, I'm going through welding rods crazy, we can make sure we've got those in here. So it just means you're saving you a trip out all the time, because obviously with the space, consumables, general consumables aren't included, because otherwise it costs us a fortune. So the machines are there for you. There are some communal resources and there will be some consumables, but there's not an infinite amount. So that's what the craft supply store's for. So I'm really glad that that's done, or mostly done. Over here you can see we've put the benches into position. I've still got a lot of stuff to sort out that sat on the benches, but you can see here we've got our first bay. This is a welding bay, and then there's going to be another bay here which is engineering, and then the bays go round. So they're all open plan. They're just going to have some strip curtains in front of them so that we can contain mess, we can contain dust, and obviously for welding, protecting everyone's eyes. So the safety is paramount here. So we are going to have defined areas, but it's still open, so you can, you know, be able to go in and out of them quite easily. So this is coming together. We've also got this in position. I don't think the lathes stay in there, we don't know yet, but you can see a lovely Makerspace blue toolbox with a load of tools right in the kind of workbench area, so that's really good. So there's a lot of work left to do on the workshop area, but we've got the master plan now and we know exactly what we're doing, and that all should be finished by Wednesday, Thursday this week, all in time for Saturday opening. Last time, in our last update, I had a van full of stuff to show you. Well, here's a little bit of an idea of what was in the van. We've got loads of Shapack bench-mounted machines and equipment. We've got some more around the corner too. We also picked up a large format printer, which is flipping massive, and that's going to be able to do full colour canvas prints, stuff like that. We've got loads of material to go with it. We also got a big cold laminator, and that goes with our vinyl plotter. So if you're making a sign or you're flooding some paper, you want to do something really nice on the vinyl plotter, you can then use the cold laminator to make sure it's stuck down properly, rather than using the old fingernail trying to get the bubbles out. So another bit of an improvement, another good machine that I wanted to add to the space to make sure that what you can do down here is a step up and better than what you can do at home. Welcome back to Northwich Makerspace. This is update 10 and we have made some massive progress. This is probably our biggest update yet, because we have spent the last 2 weeks here, night and day, getting it finished for our open day that was just gone this weekend. We had all of our founding members down here. There's about 30 people came to view the space, have a look around and see what they backed on Crowdfunder. So a big thank you to everyone who came down here. As you can see, it's absolutely transformed. We've got the woodworking shop, metalworking shops all set up. We've got all the equipment in. It's all looking clean and polished and nice and bright as well. All of these lights only just went in the last few days. So it's lovely and bright. But let's not start here. I want to show you the whole space because everywhere is transformed. But let's start at the beginning and we'll go and have a look at the front. So starting at the front of the building, we've got our signage up. This was really last minute too. These signs arrived just within the last couple of days. We were able to get the sign up on the front, and we've got a little bit of a throwback to the predecessor of this unit because we kind of like recycled their sign. We've kept an element of it. We've also got a big billboard sign up as well, which is looking really, really clean. All of the frontage is all looking nice and clean too. And we've also got a sign added in for our car park, which is across the road. So we've got loads of parking down here. I think we've got about 15 to 20 car parking spaces, and we've got CCTV on the front. We've got one camera looking across all of the cars out the front and anyone who's coming and going. And we've got a camera on the car park too. So wherever you're parked, you're safe, your vehicles are secure. So that's really important to us. Heading inside, this is our main entryway, and we've got our access system in place now. So essentially these doors are on maglocks, and you can only get through them if you've got a fob, and the fobs are only issued to our members. And this is just to protect us from members of the public kind of wandering in, not knowing where they're going, and then ending up walking around the machines, equipment. We don't want that. So members of the public are welcome to come inside, but the only way that they can go is up into our reception area. So once you're in the reception area, it's all nice and clean and tidy. We've got our aeroplane seat, which is one of my favorite little additions to the space. Makerspace blue, looking nice and tidy. We've got our reception desk, which was also something we picked up quite early on, and it's now clean and fitted and it looks really nice there. To get any further though, you need a fob. You can't go anywhere past this point. So it's all lovely in here, but we have got our little brew station in the reception, and we've got a toilet in the reception too. So that's basically the area that the public can get to, and it's a nice reception area that kind of maintains the security of the space but feeling open for anyone who wants to visit. And we've got a window looking down into what's happening. We've also got the door over to the business incubator studios, so we'll head over there, head over my favourite bridge, the best bit of the building. The 3 business incubators are here. We've got a couple of them taken out already, but we still have one available. So again, these are lovely workshops, we can put a ceiling in it, or we can leave it with, we've currently left it without a ceiling, so we've got natural light in here, depending who wants to use the space. If you're an artist, you might want natural light, or maybe you're not and you want the ceiling so you can have a bit of warmth in here. So this is open, this one's available. The details are on the website, northwichmakerspace.co.uk. Right, so that's the business incubators. Through here is the shared office. And in here you can see it's all finished off, all looking really clean and fresh. We've got 12 desks. I think I've said this before. This is definitely an area that we have showed you, but it's all clean now. We've got 12 desks. All of them are 1.3 meters wide. They're nice, solid oak desks. I love them. They're really comfortable. They've all come with these nice ergonomic kind of lumbar support chairs, which are also like adjustable in 3 different ways. They've all got a set of drawers, pedestal drawers, 3 drawers, lockable. They've got sockets on the top, sockets underneath, and they've all got connection to the network as well. So you've got super fast Wi-Fi here, but you can also connect up your computer with a network cable. So you've got reliable internet. Through here, we've got another 4, so we've got 12 in total desks. And then through here, we've got the good stuff. The stuff that is also, I don't think we've even hardly shown you any of this because it's been so quick in the making. This is the 3D print lab. In here, we have 7 3D printers. Pretty exciting. We only got them this week, last week on Thursday. It was pretty close call, getting these, pretty close cut. But we've got 3 Zortrax M200 printers. Now these print they print anything, but we're going to be using them to print ABS. Because ABS it's a stronger plastic, but it needs a heated enclosure to be able to print effectively. So I'm under great advice from various experts that I've been in touch with, people who have been founding members that I've been speaking to. I kind of was sending them links to these and trying to basically set up the right printers for the space to make it as accessible to everyone. So we've got a mixture of super simple printers. This is a Robo R2 printer. Now this came from a school, and they're used in schools because they're so simple to use. So if you've never done 3D printing, you want to get started, even I mean, I've done nothing with 3D printing, and even I've managed to get this going. We just loaded it up, clicked print, and we got this little boat out, which looks fantastic, and that's made out of PLA. So we've got super simple printers for the uninitiated. Then we've got Zortrax printers that'll do ABS if you really want some strong parts. And then behind Matt, the cameraman, we've got 3 Lulzbot printers, which are super high quality, really highly rated machines. We've got 2 Taz 6s, which have got 300 by 300 millimeter print beds. And then we've got a Taz Mini as well. So hopefully that's enough printers to make sure that if you come down the Makerspace, you'll be able to print what you want to print without waiting too long. We've also got heaps of filament. Now the filament here is all, you can use any of it basically. You can use whatever you want. Obviously some of these are 1.75mm print heads, some of them are 3. We've also got different print heads for different machines. So whatever filament you want to choose, whatever color, we've only got ABS and PLA, and it's ABS for these, PLA for over there. And then you'll just be paying for the weight of the print. And that's just so we can kind of make sure we don't run out of filament. We can just kind of have it as a never-ending supply. So you'll just pay a little bit for it. You'll weigh the print. It'll probably be 50p, not much really. I mean, it's like something like £20 a kilogram. So most prints weigh grams. So you're probably going to be paying 20 pence, but at least then it goes back into the kitty and we can keep this filament pile fully stocked with stuff. But I think this is a pretty good start, and we've got loads of parts too. Now in here, as well as we've got, they're not set up yet, but we've got 4 Dell Optiplex i7 PCs. These are all set up with the full office suite. They're set up with software for the 3D printers as well. They're set up with everything you need. So you can come in here and you can sit on a computer and start from scratch pretty much. You can bring an SD card in with your own designs if you want to, but even if you've never done it before, you can sit in here on a computer with a great view all the way down the Makerspace and start designing your 3D prints and learning about it. And hopefully we'll have some courses, but that'll be coming a little bit later. But let's have a look into the next room. So following on from the 3D print room, we've got a lovely walk down this open plan kind of balcony. And out here in this open area, we've got our CNC laser printer. So this is the big one. This was in our Crowdfunder video, and it's a 1.2 meter by 900 millimeter bed. It's a fantastic machine. It's a 100 watt CO2 laser. It's not seen much use, so it's like new, and it's one of the big bits of kit in the area. We've also got 2 smaller CNC lasers, which are going to be going down the side here. So that'll give us 3 in the space, the big one and then 2 smaller ones. So hopefully as well, if you've got any little projects, you don't have to tie up the big machine. And this space has really come together nicely too. It's nice and open plan, well lit, and leading on to the craft room. So the craft room, again, massive shock hopefully to you if you're watching the video. We've not shown you any of this because it all came together in that final week. And you can see the centerpiece is this massive table. This came from a fashion designer in Tarpley. I picked this table up and they were using it for cutting out patterns, pattern making, and it's exactly what we wanted it for. A huge, big, standing height desk that you can do pattern cutting or sign making or any other clean crafts in here. We've got loads of materials underneath. We've got heaps of vinyl for the vinyl plotter. We've got loads of foam, some fabric, but obviously we're always accepting any other craft supplies that you want to send down. Over here, we've got the Jack industrial sewing machine and the Jack overlocker, looking really great. They fitted in the room exactly as I'd hoped with the floor plan. On the back wall, we've got drawers, which are all full of stuff. So this set of drawers here is just filled with stamps. So if you wanted to, if you're into your card making or crafts, you know, kind of like paper crafts, I think we've probably got about 100 different stamps that I've been collecting from different car boots and different job lots. We've also got some other craft supplies. We've got hot glue guns and all that kind of jazz. These drawers are fully stocked. This is the cold laminator. So this goes with the vinyl plotter. If you're cutting something out and want to make a sign, you can run it through the laminator and that gets all those bubbles out. So you can do a professional job of kind of vinyl plotting. And then last but no means least, well actually second to last, we've got the heat press and then we've got the large format printer. I don't think this is staying in here actually because we have actually built a second room, which is here, which is also quite a big room. There's nothing in it at the moment, but the plan is for this to be a print room to try and get some of the printers out of there because it's just quite big, isn't it, that printer? It's taking up a big area and I think we're going to need more storage in there. So the plan is to set this up as a print room, but that may change, but it's all finished, all carpeted, all powered up, lights, sockets, looking fantastic. So that's everything up here. Let's show you downstairs. So downstairs, this is probably the most exciting part of the space, well for me anyway, because it's been the last part that we finished. Let's start in the corner of the woodworking shop with this radial arm saw. So this is what we were building last week. It took a bit of time to get it all properly set up, but what we've got here is a long workbench with a fixed datum point at the back, which we can square everything off. So we've got a radial arm saw. Now this comes out 500 mil. Let's loosen this up. So this comes out 500 mil to do 500 mil cuts, but it also does cross cuts and rip cuts and stuff like that. So this is a really versatile machine. It can do miters, it can do angles, and that's all plumbed in square off this edge, which flows on to our standard miter saw, which is also in line with it. So this is if you're doing loads of little cuts and loads of trim and smaller stuff and you just want to be repeatably doing them, you can obviously set up a block point off this back edge and you can just whiz through those. And then down here, we've got a nice separate section of the workshop where we can put some other desk mounted machinery. Like I say, these machines aren't bolted down yet, so they might move, but we've got a small bandsaw, we've got a scroll saw, a small lathe for practicing on before you get onto the big lathe, which I'll show you in a minute. A little oscillating bobbin sander. And essentially, we want this space to work for our members. You know, it is a community space and I wanted to make sure that we had all of the building work done. We've got some of the main key elements in. We've got the space built. We've done all the building work, all the messy work. And when you guys start coming down here doing your inductions and start using the space, I'll be here too and you can talk to me and we can kind of discuss where things can be moved to or if there's anything missing. If you start realizing quite quickly that we don't have a certain thing, then, you know, let me know and we'll get one in the space. So that's why lots of things are just loose out on the surface. But down this end, we've got our floor standing equipment. You can see this datum point here runs in line with our mortiser. So if you're doing long lengths, you can also mortise them, which also runs true to the spindle molder, which is here. So we've got a nice straight run all the way down. Into the corner, we've got a floor standing pillar drill. Now this one is actually going to be the metalworking floor standing pillar drill. So that's going to be going in the metal area. We've actually got a record power one, which is going here. You can see we've got a lot of record power. I kind of like everything matching, so we're going to be putting a record power floor standing drill here. We've also got the record power bandsaw. This is on wheels. Not really locked down where this is going yet, but it's here. It's a quality one. It's not their basic range. It's their premium 14-inch bandsaw. It runs really nicely. It's dead smooth and quiet, and that's obviously going to be somewhere around this area. And then over here, we've got one of the highlights for me. This is a cast iron solid Union Graduate wood turning lathe with all of the trucks and face plates. But obviously if this is a bit overwhelming for you, you want to try wood turning, but maybe not on this big old beastie thing, you can use the small record power one. turn a pen on there or something, get used to it. You can see here we've got a big open plan area with loads of benches. All have got vices either side, so you can make the parts you want to do, chop them up, and then come over here and put them all together. We've got loads of tools as well. Behind me, we've got the metalworking bays. Now these aren't quite finished yet because we're going to be having strip curtain in both these bays, and that's to keep the dust down. This one in particular is going to have welding grade strip curtain because this is the welding bay. So we've got 2 metal benches in here. We're going to have arc welding and MIG welding to start with. We could look at other types of welding if there's a requirement. Oh, and spot welding. We also have a spot welder. We've got welding aprons, we've got welding hoods, gloves, welding helmets, welding strip curtain, and it's a nice safe space to go and work. And then the other side, it's more of the engineering metal work. So it's hydraulic press, a little bandsaw, we've got metal cut-off saw, some of the other metalworking stuff that isn't welding or abrasives. Over here, we've got our lathe. Now we've got this one's 400 centers, so it can do a fair amount of stuff. It's also variable speed, and it's a really solid German-made machine. And so far, I think it's a really great start. And hopefully we can see what our members require, see if we need a bigger lathe or if we need some other metalworking tools, but we wanted to start off with something. So we've got this one here. It's in its own little section with it on its own tool cabinet, which has not just got lathe tools in, it's got some other tools too, but it's got its own little guard as well. So hopefully that's a nice spot for that to live. And that wraps it up for the metalworking and the woodworking, but we've also got a great little area around here, which is quite a versatile space. We can change this area up and we can take ideas again for what to do in here. Right now we've got an electrical bench and we've got some electrical items to go with it, and we know that an electrical area is quite key, so that is going to be in here. We can build it out a little bit more, but it's going to be in this section. But what we've got is some of our tools that we don't think are going to be used as much. We want to put them on these wheeling benches, so vacuum forming, vacuum trimming. We've got the foam molding cutting machine. We've got another bench which we can put items and tools on as well, and that way we can kind of use this as an adaptable, versatile space. We've also got our shot blasting or sandblasting machine over here too. If you've got something all rusty and knackered and you put it in a sandblasting machine, it doesn't take long to get it looking like new again. So we definitely wanted one of these in the space, and hopefully we see a few good restorations in here with that. So that wraps up for this end. We've got the craft saw there, but we showed you that before. That's not going to be open for a while because we need to set that up. That's its own project, getting that sorted. But we can show you the kitchen and social area, which is, I think we've shown you in here a few times before too, but now it's all clean and it's all finished. And I'll tell you what I haven't shown you before, that it's connected with its own aerial and it has full digital TV. So you can come down here, and if you're getting a bit tired of making something, or you just want to watch the news, or maybe you want to watch the chase, the TV's all plumbed in, so you can sit in here, eat your tea, or eat your lunch and watch some TV. So that's all sorted. I'll turn it off. We've also got the kitchen fully cleaned and ready. That took a little bit of doing. There was a fair bit of dust and mess in here, but it's all sorted. We've got 72 mugs in total, and we think that's probably going to be enough mugs for all of the members to make a brew. And if that's not enough, we've obviously got a dishwasher too, so we can get the dishwasher running, keep on top of the mugs. Loads of cupboards, microwave, all of that's open for use for all of the members, and the bookshelf is starting to fill up. So I think you've seen me mention this a few times, but I've managed to pick up some amazing books here. I got a job lot from a carpenter of woodworking books, and there's some fascinating books here. And then we've got a whole shelf here full of needlecraft, sewing, rug making. Over here is all art books and kind of like artists' inspiration books. Hopefully we can fill that up a little bit more. And I don't think I'd mind having some board games in there too. As you can see out here, it's super open plan. Hopefully Matt gets a few wide shots of how open and spacious the space feels. We wanted it open planned, we wanted it spacious, and I think we've achieved that. It's all nice and tidy, even this kind of like messy, wet area with the big double stainless steel sink and the cupboard for displaying things that people have made. It's all finished, and I'm loving the vending machine. This actually works now, although I've got no money to put in it, but it all works, and we've got all your favorite drinks in there. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of the space and how big it is. A lot of the people who came down here on Saturday were pretty surprised by the scale of the place, and they said they couldn't really tell how big it was and kind of the proper layout of it from the video. So hopefully that gives you more of an idea. Hopefully you made it down on Saturday if you're one of our founding members. If you didn't, send us a message. We'd love to get you down here. Inductions start next week. So if you've got a founding membership, go on the website, make sure you complete your membership login on there. You should have had an email about it, and then you can set yourself up with your membership and you can arrange your induction. And once you've been inducted, you can come and go as you please. You can start using the space and making things. So a big thank you to everyone who supported this project, and I'm absolutely blown away myself by the support we've had, and I'm also pretty amazed by what we've actually been able to achieve in 3 months. It's kind of been a bit of a haze for me, a bit of a crazy 3 months, and to see where we've come to now, building this whole place from scratch, kitting it all out, but not only that, setting up the website, doing all the technical side of it, also doing the videos and the social media, which is not my biggest forte, but obviously we've got to do it. And I think the fact we've tracked the whole journey, and if you've not seen all these videos, go back on this channel. We've got 10 update videos tracking this build from day one, where we got the keys and it was an empty unit. And it's actually quite nostalgic, even though it's only been 3 months, to go back and have a look at that first episode and how empty and kind of messy this place was to how it is now, the finished article, all polished, tidy and organized and working, you know, and we're ready to open up. And I'm now excited to see what people are going to come down here and make, invent, create, and then hopefully we can start sharing those projects on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel with the bell icon, because we've got more videos coming and hopefully we can start showing you what we can use the space for. Also follow along with the Instagram, because we've got loads of pictures and content on there too, and the Twitter, all of those good things, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. But the big one is northwichmakerspace.co.uk. because on there you'll be able to engage with other members. You're going to be able to see who the experts are in the different areas that maybe you've got an interest in. If you want to learn about 3D printing, about the CNC laser, you're going to be able to find members of this community that you can talk to, work with and learn from. And that's what this space is all about. So I'd love to hear your ideas. Make sure you've taken out your membership. If you've not come down to see the space and you're a founding member, get on the website, organize your induction and make sure you can start utilizing that membership. So once again, a big thank you to all of the backers and the supporters on the Crowdfunder. Huge thank you to everyone who came down on Saturday, and I can't wait to see you all down here.